Okay. We had already started the chapter conservation of momentum. It says that the initial momentum of a system is equal to the final momentum. That means the total momentum of the system remains conserved. What kind of system? Isolated system. Isolated system is when no external force is applied on the system. Where we have yesterday, I give the examples also. When we have Newton's third law applicable, the situation where Newton's third law is applicable, it will follow the law of conservation of momentum. In that system, initial momentum and final momentum will be equal. I gave examples like collisions, explosions, rowing a boat, firing of a bullet from a gun, propulsion of rockets, etc. They all follow the law of conservation of momentum. When two bodies are moving in the straight line like this and they are colliding, so there also the initial momentum and final momentum will be equal. Okay, we'll prove the just idea proof of law of conservation of momentum. Proof of law of conservation of momentum. Just give this heading: conservation of momentum. We'll be proving this. For this, we'll take a body on a straight line path like this. One body is here, mass m1. There is another body here, mass m2. Initial velocity of this body is like this u1. Initial velocity of this body is u2. Initial velocity. We are assuming u1 bigger than u2. At a particular place, they will collide. Here you can show collisions. M1, M2. They are colliding with these collisions. Then we'll be writing here like this. This body right here after collision. After collision. This is M1, this is M2. Velocity of this is V1, velocity of this is V2. Like this. V1, V2. Here you write before collision. Before collision. Before collision. Before collision. The motion is through on straight line. Before collision, here you can have during collision, during collisions and there. During collisions, this will exert a force F1 on it. This will give a force F2 on this reaction, action and the reactions. F1 and F2 will be acting like this. According to Newton's third law of motion, F1 and F2 will be equal but opposite in direction. So we like this. From Newton's third law, we like F1 is equal to minus F2. F1 is equal to minus F2. Okay. F1 formula we will be writing here M1 A1. Here I write minus M2 A2. Right. M1 A1 formula I write here V1 minus U1 by T. Here I write M2 V2 minus U2 by T. T and T cancels. Here you get M1 V1 minus M1 U1 is equal to M2 V2 minus M2 U2. So we'll keep M1 V1. Oh, minus and I did take. Minus this will be plus. So I write M1 V1. This will come this side plus M2 V2. This side this one I'll shift the other side at M1 U1 plus M2 U2. Let us write from this side. Therefore we can write like this: M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. What is this? What is M1 U1? M1 U1 is the initial momentum of the first body, M2 U2 is the initial momentum of the second body. They are moving in the same direction. When two vectors are in the same direction, what is the total resultant addition? This plus this, that is M1 U1 plus M2 U2. I'm writing that M1 U1 plus M2 U2. This is the value of initial momentum before collisions. And what is the momentum? M1 V1 after collision, M1 V1 plus M2 V2. This is equal to write initial momentum, and this is equal to final momentum, proved. Hence, law of conservation of momentum is proved. This is how we will prove it. Please copy. See if you have any doubts, you can clarify. Have you got any doubts anywhere?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, what happened in the second last line? Second last line.
This one I'm just reversing. I'm writing from this side. M1 U1 plus M2 U2. This will writing the other way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you see? You see the initial momentum of the system of two bodies before collisions and after collisions remains the same. Hence, the law of conservation of momentum is proved. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Wait, sir.
Wait. Okay. Tell me when you finish it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, give the heading recoil of a gun. Recoil of a gun. You know, when a gun is fired, bullet comes out and the gun gives you a jerk in the backward direction like this. The gun is pushed back. Do you know all that? When you fire a bullet from a gun, bullet will be coming out from the gun in the forward direction and the gun recoils in the backward direction. Why does it recoil? Let us find a reason. And what should be the recoil velocity of the gun? Very simple. We will take right here. Initial momentum is equal to final momentum, right? Like this. Initial momentum equal to final momentum. We write this. What is the value of initial momentum? Both gun and the bullet are at rest in the beginning. Before the bullet is fired, both of them are at rest. What is their momentum? Zero, because there is no velocity. Initial velocity is zero. U1, that is the velocity of the gun, is also zero, and U2, that is velocity of the bullet, is also zero before firing it. You can have initial momentum value zero. Final momentum of both. The final momentum of the gun, I write capital M, capital V. Mass of the gun and velocity of the gun plus mass of the bullet and velocity of the bullet, mv, small mv. I'll bring this one this side. It become minus mv.
What's that capital letter one?
Small mv. This is for gun. This entire thing is the momentum of the gun. This is for the bullet. Capital M stands for mass of the gun. Capital V is the velocity of the gun. Other side, small m is the mass of the bullet and small v is the velocity of the bullet. Both are for bullet
Yes,
here
sir.
and here both are for gun. Therefore, make v the subject of formula. The value of v will become minus mv by capital M. This is the formula of recoil velocity. This means recoil velocity of the gun. Recoil velocity of the gun. That means Minus sign here indicates that this velocity and this velocity will be in opposite direction. Action and reaction are always equal but opposite. That is, capital V and small v will have opposite direction. That is the significance of minus sign. You know, in vector, minus sign signifies what? Opposite direction. That is, when the bullet moves forward, the gun will move backward because of the opposite direction. And what should be the velocity of the required velocity of the gun? It should be given by this. You must have seen bullet comes out with much higher velocity, and the gun will be pushed back with a lesser velocity, much less velocity. Is it correct or not? Bullet will be coming out with much higher velocity, and the gun will be pushed back with much smaller velocity. Why? What is the reason behind? Because the reason is the mass. Mass of the gun is much more as compared to the mass of the velocity. Mass of the bullet. Bullet mass may be 2 grams, 3 grams, maybe 10 grams, and the gun mass will be some kgs, 5 kgs, 10 kgs, like that. Since mass, according to this equation, mass and velocity, they are inversely proportional. When mass is less, velocity will be more, and when mass is more, velocity will be less. Greater mass will have a smaller velocity, and a smaller mass will have a larger velocity. Since mass of the gun is comparatively much more than the mass of the bullet, that's why the velocity of the gun is much less as compared to the velocity of the bullet. Otherwise, just imagine if bullet and the gun are having same masses, then both if masses are equal, then they will have equal velocity. Whatever velocity the bullet will have, gun will have the same velocity. That is, in that case, the person who is firing the bullet will also getting the gun coming to him with the same velocity as the bullet. That means, in that case, both the person will be killed. I mean, on whom the bullet is being fired and on whom the one who is firing, both of them will get killed. In that case, the masses are equal. I'm saying that. Have you understood? Say fast, please.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Mass matters. Mass matters. Mass is more, so velocity is less. And if mass is less, velocity is more. Same thing. You know, this pen and the earth, both of them attract each other by the force of gravitation. But the pen, we see pen moving towards the earth. Earth doesn't come towards the pen. Does it come? When you, because of the force of gravitation, this pen or force of gravity, this pen will be falling out to the earth. It is not that the earth will be coming to this. Does it happen? Never. The earth is coming to this pen is attracting the earth, pulling the earth. Does it happen?
No, sir.
No. Why? Because mass matters. Mass matters. I hope you understood this. Huh? This is the formula of, what is this? This is the formula of what? Tell me. Required velocity of gun. Okay, directly just make equation capital MV is equal to small mv with the minus sign. Minus sign only tells you the opposite direction. Huh? It doesn't play any role in the magnitude, but it only tells you the direction. That the direction is opposite to the direction of velocity of the bullet. Same thing applies to boat and all. No, when we are rowing a boat, you push water and water gives reaction. So same thing is applicable there also. Done. I rub it. Okay, now I'm talking about types of collision. You just give the heading now, types of collision. Types of collision. Types of collision. In any type of collisions, law of conservation of momentum is verified. All type of collision is an example of conservation of momentum. collisions, explosion and all, they all are example of conservation of momentum. Okay. There are three types of collisions. Three types. I write number one is perfectly elastic collision. Second one is perfectly inelastic. You can add perfectly inelastic collision. And the third one you write partly elastic collision. Partly elastic collision. Second one first one we can just call it elastic collision, will do. Second one we can call it only inelastic collision, will also be okay. Same thing. Here we have to say partly elastic collision. So there are three types of collisions. Finished? That's now I'll do one by one. Now first one, perfectly elastic collision. Perfectly elastic collision. Okay, one thing to keep in mind that in all types of collision, no, momentum remains conserved. That is, initial momentum will be equal to the final momentum. In perfectly elastic collision, what happens? We will be writing like this, right here, initial momentum is equal to final momentum. This happens, and initial kinetic energy of the system is equal to final kinetic energy of the system. In perfectly elastic collisions, momentum remains conserved and also the kinetic energy remains conserved. I am talking about kinetic energy, not the total energy. Total energy is always conserved. But in such type of collisions, both kinetic energy and initial momentum also remains conserved. Okay. Later on, we see some more properties later on. But for the time being, just right there, in perfectly elastic collisions, momentum as well as kinetic energy remains conserved. Okay. Second type of collisions. In second type of collisions, only momentum remains conserved. Only momentum. Number two. Inelastic collision. Only I'm writing inelastic. In inelastic collisions, we'll have initial momentum equal to final momentum. Only momentum of the systems are equal. But kinetic energy is not equal. In this system, initial kinetic energy will be greater than final kinetic energy. That means there is loss in kinetic energy. That means there is loss in kinetic energy. In inelastic collisions, two bodies after collisions will be sticking with one another and move together in the same direction. In a type of collision where two bodies after collisions stick together, they combine together and move. Such a collision is inelastic collision. Have you understood what I said? Can one of you repeat what I said? Say, one of you. I have not given the example of this one. Okay, I'll give the example later on. Okay, after we have to do something, then I'll give the example of first type of collision. In the second type of collision, in elastic collision, what happens? Tell no, please. One of you. What happens, Aradhya?
There is loss in Ke,
Yes,
kinetic energy.
uh
There is loss in kinetic energy.
There is loss in the kinetic energy value. And actually, what happens in this type of collision? After collision, what happens to the two bodies? Hello? Two bodies stick together, they combine together after collision and move with the same velocity after collisions. Okay? Yes? Say. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third type collision, that means write down partly elastic collision. Only momentum is conserved. Only momentum. You can add this initial momentum equal to final momentum. Only this happens, final momentum. Whereas kinetic energy is unequal to kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy will not be equal. No? It can be greater, it can be smaller, it can be anything, but they will not be equal. If they are equal, then this is this case, elastic collision case. And in this case, the body move with a random velocity. Okay, two bodies get randomly, apart from each other. They are scattered anywhere. Such a collision is partly elastic. Okay. All right. Say all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We are doing this one. This is the first type of collisions. In perfectly elastic collision, this is the case. Let us give the heading now, perfectly elastic collisions. In perfectly elastic collisions, what happens? Let us find out. In perfectly elastic collisions, we'll be writing between the two bodies. We can draw a diagram here. Take the mass of the first body as m1, mass of the second body as m2, moving in the same direction. I'm assuming. In the real situation, they can move in the opposite direction also. So m1, m2. Okay. This is right here before collision. And here again the same body you draw. m1, m2, v1, v2. Right here after collisions. Collision definitely takes place when both of the body hit one another, then only, then u1 will be greater than u2, that is for sure. Then only the collision will take place if they are moving in the same direction. But opposite direction, such condition is not needed. Body can move with any velocity, but collision will take place. Let us equate momentum. Write down here from conservation of momentum. First write this from conservation of momentum. We'll be writing this m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. We'll write this one. This is the equation I'm writing from the law of conservation of momentum, which we proved just some time back. Okay, have you understood this step? Please tell me if you have understood or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us write m1 together. I'll write m1 common. Here I'll write u1 minus v1. Other side m2 v2. This one I'll take common here. v2 minus u2 will write. Equation number 1. Mass history equation 1. Check. Have you understood this step?
Yes,
Please
sir.
check. Now write here from conservation of kinetic energy. From kinetic energy, what is the kinetic energy of the initial kinetic energy of the system of two bodies? Right here, half m1 u1 square, half m2 u2 square equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. I will write like this. Kinetic energy of both the bodies initially and finally are made equal, because we know in such collisions kinetic energy are equal. Initial kinetic energy of the system is equal to final kinetic energy of the system. Half common and cancelled on both the sides. We'll be having at this side m1 u1 square plus m2 u2 square is equal to m1 v1 square plus m2 v2 square. Let us keep m1 together. Right here m1 here, u1 square minus u2 square, m2 together. Here we will get v2 square minus v1 square. I will write as m1. I'll use the formula here. A square minus b square formula. A minus b and a plus b. Keep m2 here.
Sir, that won't be minus, no?
Sir, how you took minus u1 square
Sir, how
minus
that
u2
is
square?
subtracted?
One. What do you think? Say.
Sir, M1,
Yeah, you are right. u1 minus v1 square. Yeah, you are correct. u1 square minus v1 square, and here I would write v2 square minus u2 square.
Sir,
V2
that top
square minus
also,
U2
from
square.
conservation of momentum, that one also.
From this one.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Huh?
sir. Sir, when you took common,
This
it
is
will be
correct.
u1
Why?
plus u2, no?
Why u1 plus u2? m1 out here, m1 is here. These two are m1. No, m1 has taken common. One is here, one is the other side. So m1. We are looking at m1.
Oh, okay, sir.
What are you
Understood.
looking at?
Okay, understood, sir.
Yeah. m1 is common. You get v1 minus v1. Other side m2. Here also m2 has taken common v2 minus v2. This is corrected. This is all right. Okay. Mark
Yes,
this as
sir.
equation number 2. Mark this one as equation number 2. We'll divide the two equations. Let us divide the bigger equation by the smaller equation. Let us divide. How to divide? Left hand side will be divided with the left hand side equal to right hand side divided by the right hand side. Write down dividing equation 2. Dividing equation 2 by equation 1. If you divide the entire thing, this divided by this thing gets cancelled. Right hand side, what is cancelling? This thing getting cancelled. What is left over? What is the thing left over? u1 plus v1 left over here, and that side v2 plus u2 is left over. Am I right or wrong? Please check.
Correct.
Correct. I'll write like this: u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. Okay. u1 minus u2 is equal to what? v2 minus v1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, we write what is u1 minus v2? If suppose two bodies are moving in the same direction, no? What is the value of relative velocity? If the chapter relative velocity, relative motion, you have already done, no? If the two bodies move in the same direction, how do you take their relative velocity? You have to subtract, no? Yes or no? When two bodies move in the opposite direction, you have to add. You know that or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? That means this is the relative velocity, with which they are. This one is approaching towards this. You can write that this is the value of relative velocity of approach. Write down relative velocity of approach. Relative velocity of approach. And V2 minus V1, this V2, V1 is also relative velocity, but the relative velocity of separation, after collision. You can add here, relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. That means in perfectly elastic collisions, there are three important factors, three important things. First one is that momentum remains conserved. Momentum is conserved in all type of collisions. Second thing, we see that the kinetic energy of the system, initial one and the final one are equal. That means it follows the conservation of energy, kinetic energy. And in perfectly elastic collisions, relative velocity of approach will be equal to the relative velocity of separation. That means in the perfectly elastic collision, we can write down this equation. First equation for a straight line collisions, this is equation 1, this one, we can follow this equation, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, and the second equation we can write like this. u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1. This also will happen. Your question may come in exam like this, show that for perfectly elastic collisions, the relative velocity of approach is equal to relative velocity of separation. You have to start from here, everything, the diagram also, everything you have to do till here. And after that you write this answer, concluding answer. Okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we are doing this much, and then tomorrow I'll show some more thing. I'll talk about this perfectly elastic collision. Tomorrow you will come to know, okay? And then this chapter is almost finished. So we'll be only doing the problems. Tomorrow only we'll start. Little bit is only left over in theory. This chapter is short only, but the problems are little tricky type over here in this chapter. Okay, so that we'll do. Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.